This Shabbos is Erev Purim. It's not like next year that Shabbos is Purim in Yerushalayim. It's Erev Purim. So Pashtus, it's Erev Purim, it's Taka Shabbos Zocher, but it's a regular Shabbos, happens to be Motzei Shabbos is Purim. I would like to, Be'ez Hashem, go through a few halachas relevant to this Shabbos, being that it's Erev Purim, it's Shabbos, the Adalayada Shabbos, that's Erev Purim. The frat that we're learning now in the night called Hilchos Shabbos, Tava Be'itei Ma'toiv. The first halacha, a person wants to prepare Leining the Megillah. Shabbos, it's a long Shabbos afternoon, you have time. Could you prepare Leining the Megillah on Shabbos for Motzei Shabbos? What should be the problem? Hachana. The Isser Hachana is even not preparing, doing something that's an Isser Malacha. L'moshel, you want to prepare Shabbos, Motzei Shabbos, you want to make a Marbim Besuda Ktsas, you want to make a Suda Motzei Shabbos. It's very late till you come back from the Megillah, Motzei Shabbos, they changed the clock already. So you want to prepare, set up Shabbos afternoon. You cannot, that's cool, that's Hachana. Even if you're not doing any Malacha, you just putting on a tablecloth, setting the table, it's also, that's Hachana. So could one prepare the Megillah when you're preparing to learn the Megillah? I'm not talking about learning Hilchos Megillah, learning the Taich of the Megillah. You pasha want to prepare to be a Bal Koira, to learn the Megillah, is a mutter. So in Shmir Shabbos Kolchasa brings B'Shem Reb Shlomo Zalman that it's mutter. And he says the reason why it's mutter, not because Hachana is mutter when it's L'dvar Mitzvah. To say you can't prepare from Yom Tif to Shabbos, from Shabbos to Yom Tif to the Leila Seder. The reason why it's mutter is because it's not called Hachana. Why is it not called Hachana? Zok Reb Shlomo Zalman, it's true when you're preparing the Leining of the Megillah, you want to be able to lein Motzei Shabbos, but Lamaisa, when you're leining now, and you know how to lein, you're now a Bal Koira. You don't end up leining Motzei Shabbos. You're still a person that can lein, so mainly you gained, you didn't do a chana for Motzei Shabbos, you're preparing to lein Motzei Shabbos. Now you're a person that can lein the Megillah Sester. The same as Negeya when Shabbos you want to prepare Megillas Eicha, or the Emes says it's Negeya for about Tefillah. Somebody's going to daven Rosh Hashanah, falls out of the middle of the week, and the Shabbos before, you finally have a little bit of time and you realize if you're not going to prepare now, when are you going to prepare for davening? You want to prepare davening for Rosh Hashanah. This would be the same Yesod, it's mutter. You're preparing to be about Tefillah Rosh Hashanah. The Teretz is today, Shabbos, you are now about Tefillah. It's also Negeya. I saw the Poskim speak about it, Lagabi, let's say Shabbos, you want to prepare the same Talamatal of Racha. The first night is going to be Motzei Shabbos. So you're ready Shabbos, you want to prepare and you want to say 90 times the same Talamatal. So like this, Motzei Shabbos, when you daven Ma'ariv, even if you're not sure, you're safe. So what does the Olam say? L'choira, saying the V'sein Talamatar on Shabbos 90 times would be different. B'Shloim preparing the Leining the Megillah. So now you're about Koira. You prepare davening, so you're about Tefillah. Saying the V'sein Talamatar 90 times. So what are you now? You're doing it. You're preparing for Ma'ariv Motzei Shabbos. That if you forget, you shouldn't be stuck. What'd you say? What's the tsar that what?
You messed up by 89, you got to go back to the beginning.
Lamaisa.
What is it that he's about Kari now?
What'd you say?
What benefit is it that he's about Kari now? It's for later. The point is that he's going to be too late in the future.
So you're asking what our vocha is there this day you're about Kaira. What'd say?
He says, he knows how to read one puzzle.
You can't do that with Shabbos.
No, but he's still, what he's saying is that now he's considered about Kaira. Lamai nafke, but Lafkim is Kaddish. Doesn't mean he's Kaddish right now. Lamaisa, it's a Tasan Taka the Shaila. You're asking Lamaisa, he's about Kaira. Lamai nafke, he knows it, so he owns it. Lagabi what? So he kalein Motzei Shabbos.
He's not
It's
just
a Santa Shaila.
He's not just preparing. He's not just. It's one thing. I'm sure if a guy was learning it for the first time on Shabbos, it would be a problem because then he's doing hachana mamish. Even if he's considered makar, it's preparing mamish for something that which he never did, right? So therefore, your mamish preparing. Someone who's about kari, a guy who constantly does it, then after them doing it on Shabbos, it's like Hazar just going over it, like learning it, and therefore when you're doing it on Shabbos, you don't have a din of achana at home because you've done this. This is something.
Yeah, but Lamaisa, even if a person did it for the past 50 years, if he's going it over, yeah, but he's.
You know it. You're just going Hazar over it. You're not in a sense preparing for after Shabbos. You're just going over to make sure that the Megillah is in your head. Stam. You don't know if you're going to lay 20 times tomorrow.
You're doing it stamazai. So Lamaisa. Good, Lamaisa, Dr. Shlomo Zalman, it's mutter, lahalocha, it's mutter. It's interesting, in Knei Boisim, Rameh Brandstorff has a long tshuva about it. He goes through all the different echatimtzes where it's the geya. And he says, it's aser, because it's considered being meichen, mishabas l'chayil. He says very stark. He says, it's a davar borer that it's aser. So be'etzim, if we stop right here, very clear, this Shabbos, if a person wants to prepare the Megillah, Rabbi says a mutter or aser. Shlomo Zalman says mutter, and in Knei Boisim he says that it's aser. Lamaisa, that what?
You can't do Monsey.
That what?
You can't do afterwards now. You can't prepare it Monsey. You have to lay in Monsey.
What do you have to lay? I mean, if he's the only person and he's only good, could be. I hear. If it's azami neichatimtza and that's taked din and the chanami. Lamaisa. Oh, very good. Rabbi Shiur Gavaldik. We'll get to muktzah. That's another din. Very good. You're saying it's muktzah. We'll see the taka b'chlal muktzah. Lamaisa is like this. The Knei Boisim's son, Ramoshe Brandstoffer, he's from the Eintige Poisk. He was actually more recently well known. All the Chamadige Shailas during the Milchama, he's in Paskins. So he says like this, that even this that it says that it's aser, when his father said it's aser, it's only aser when you say that you're preparing the Megillah to be able to lay Motzei Shabbos. But if you don't say anything, it's mutter. Why? Weiter, what is it? What are you doing? You're leining it. The teretz is because it could be kekoira b'Torah you're learning. So Megillah, it's not achana. Before maybe you mentioned the shtickle, the learning part, kekoira b'Torah, which Rabbi said, l'chayra, this heter is only a heter by kriyas Megillah. L'chayra for davening, to prepare Rosh Hashanah davening for on Shabbos for Rosh Hashanah, l'chayra, you won't have the heter. It's only kriyas Megillah, because Shabbos you could say derech limud ba'alma.
When it's Musar, the Rosh Hashanah davening, if you read it, it makes a big impression. No less than
I hear it could be taka and a chanami. And if you do it with the nusach, it's taka.
It's like Musar say that.
L'cha'ira, what I want to say clear is l'cha'ira, Reb Shlomo Zalman would also agree that you can't say, you tell somebody, I want to go now and prepare the Megillah for tonight, you can't do. To say that you're being meichen, you can't do it for tonight. Reb Shlomo Zalman says you could do it now because you gain by being a Bal Kaira now. And the other tzad hatter is because Shabbos you're doing the derech limud ba'alma. Hayotze, that if somebody wants to prepare the Shabbos kriyas Megillah, don't say that you're preparing for Motzei Shabbos, and it's mutter. The next nakuda. Let's move on. Abyssal will take more shilas. I want to move a little bit along, a little bit. Shilas are more than encouraged. The next nakuda is this Megillah muksa? Could you be mataltal the Megillah? We just said now that you could prepare. So Rishua pointed out, Lamaisa, maybe the Megillah is muksa. Why should it be muktzah? Agav, I was just looking before what they say why it would not be muktzah is it's not considered muktzah machmas chsar and kiss. It's true, it's interesting, it's not an expensive item to buy a Megillah, but Lamaisa, you don't see that people are ki'ilu, a shofar, he's a meduber, a person, even a Megillah costs way more than a shofar, but a Megillah, people, you use it, you move it, so there's no muktzah machmas chsar and kiss al sefer kodesh. I didn't see such a thing. The word is that people are not so moiridik mak, but a Megillah outside it won't be muktzah. So the emes is the Shari Tshuva Taka says that it's taka, you can be mataltal it, no problem. So what is the yenegei? Why are we talking about it b'chlal tonight? What's a negei? No, Lamais is like this. We'll talk about that's something else. Very good. I'm happy. I was to say that there's another nakud about carrying if you meant to taking it to shul. But let's first focus in the house. Could you move your Megillah from place to place? Zok the shari tshuva it's mutter. However. Lamais is like this. He brings the Pri Chadash that the Pri Chadash says that when Purim falls out on Shabbos, the Hainu next year in Yerushalayim, then it's muktzah. Why is it muktzah? It's muktzah Shami Avirenu. I'm sorry. Why is it muktzah? Gzeira de Rabbi, you can't read the Megillah. If you can't read the Megillah that Shabbos, the Megillah, it's muktzah. However, what comes out? Any other Shabbos of the year would be mutter. It's only that Shabbos that you're now allowed to use the Megillah. Means you're now allowed to read from the Megillah. But every other Shabbos it's mutter.
You use it for other things, you can learn it.
Oh, very good. Flekta machtas hashekel, 2 questions. Number 1, it should be mutter even that Shabbos. Because Lamaisa good, you're now allowed to read from it, but you can learn from the Megillah, so why should it be muktzah? V'oid, they bring that the minig was al pi the Pri Chadash to aser kriyas habagila this Shabbos also. And Lamaisa they say why should it be aser? Why is this week different than any other week? Just say it's like this, and we'll soon see where we're going with this. Even if you go with the Pri Chadash that it's aser to be metaltal the Megillah next year in Yerushalayim, but why this Shabbos you can be metaltal the Megillah? Why not? And that's la'alocha. Klar. La'alocha you can be metaltal the Megillah this Shabbos. However, so Nochum, we said to read from the Megillah you're allowed, it's mutter, it's not achana. You're allowed to be metaltal the Megillah on Shabbos, it's not muktzah. However, you want to take the Megillah Shabbos afternoon to shul. Yeah, your shul, it's a very late, and the shul right away, they daven Ma'ariv by the Zman, before they're right away, followed by Megillah. So when you go to shul, by the Shkia time, you want to bring your Megillah. So for that, it's aser. Mavur in the Shari Tshuva, Moirakzi, it's aser. The reason why it's aser, because that's achana. He does, however, bring the eitzah, the Shari Tshuva brings the eitzah, that you bring it b'tzina. But sinna the pshat is because people see you carrying the Megillah, they think you're allowed to carry the Megillah. And when you bring the Megillah to shul, you learn from the Megillah, then it's mutter. So come to Chayes, you really brought it for Shabbos already. Eitzah, eichatimtzah. L'maisa, it's not such an eitzah to rely on the Aruch HaShulchan brings this efshe the mutter, and then zok the Aruch HaShulchan mekam hakim nizharim shlei lav l'idei zeh. The Machtas HaShekel also brings this eitzah of bringing to shul and learning from it, and he says v'raf yibiyadi. So Megillah Lamaisa, even though you're allowed to move your Megillah, there's no Issa Muktzah. However, to bring it to shul, you should not. That's an Issa Achana. I want to go back for a minute, please, to what we spoke about, the second din of the Megillah being Muktzah. We said it's not Muktzah. Why is it not Muktzah? Because why should it be Muktzah? Maybe it's Muktzah when Purim falls on Shabbos. But why should it be Muktzah this Shabbos? These are halacha in Shulchan Aruch, maybe not so well known, but it's a klara din in Shulchan Aruch, Siman Tafresh Tzadik Beis Sif Dalet, that Bidi Eved, one could lay the Megillah, Erev Purim from Plag. It's Bidi Eved. It's not like davening Ma'ariv after plag. The Shulchan Aruch says the Ovid plag. B'diavad you can lein the Megillah after the plag. Rabbi says, Zok the Magen Avram, a more the Chiddush of the Magen Avram. A year like this year, that Purim falls out Motzei Shabbos, you can lein the Megillah Shabbos afternoon. We're going to soon go into it a little more, but first let's understand, what'd you say?
I didn't see it in the Scheiner's pamphlet.
Even when Purim, this Magen Avram is a Gavaldige Chiddush. But even if on a regularly we would have it, we're not going to put on the pamphlet because it's b'diavad. People shouldn't make a mistake.
Then Rabbi would have to add another bakari after Shabbos.
I even had a tzad to have such a thing just in case. I discussed it with Rabbi Korn, but it's b'diavad, so if it's needed, we'll work with it, but not to make such a type of option, even not on the schedule. One second, 1 minute. So let's, where we holding over here? So Lamais is like this. Let's be clear. Let's be clear over here. Zok the Magen Avram, it's mutter. Zok the Magen Avram, it's mutter. Zok the Magen Avram, it's mutter on this din of the Shulchan Aruch. If Purim falls out Motzei Shabbos like this year, Zok the Magen Avram, that you could lein the Megillah b'diavad if you need to mid-plag, which means Shabbos afternoon. We're going to get to that in a minute. 1 minute. First, I want to bring this in Lagabi the din of Muktzah, and then we'll get to Gzeira D'Rabba. Megillah is like this. Megillah, it's not going to be Muktzah because you could use the Megillah. However, Zok the Magen Avram, either the Magen Avram is mesupik or the Magen Avram concludes that you can't. But we're going to get back to Muta Asa, but I want to first handle the Muktzah part. Zok the Magen Avram, you cannot. The Pri Megadim says it's Pashit. He doesn't understand the Nidun in the Magen Avram. It's Pashit. But 1 second, we'll see that some say maybe Fakeret Gar. But he says Pashit, it's Aser. So l'chayr, what comes out, Rabbi say? Just like what the Pri Chodesh says, that next year in Yerushalayim it's Muktzah, because Rabbi said you're not allowed to use the Megillah. We thought I had a kash on the Pri Chodesh that you could read it you could learn from the Megillah. But Oibazoi, this Shabbos, it would be Muktzah. That's what l'chayr should come out. Because if you hold that be'etzem you should lein, and Gzeira D'Rabba kicks in over here this Shabbos afternoon, it would become Aser, but maybe it would come Aser only min a plag. Muktzah l'chatzi Shabbos. Before plag I want to be Muktzah, because you can't lein it. From plag, which be'etzem you would be able to lein, because of the din of the Shulchan Aruch min a plag. Now the reason you can't do it is because why can you lein this Shabbos afternoon, Gzeira D'Rabba? So it would be also to be metaltal.
Would this go to other Gzeras D'Rabbanan on Shabbos, like Lulav or Shaifer or something like that?
That what?
That say that's not Muktzah?
Let's leave it on the side. We'll talk afterwards. The Rabbi spoke about Lulav also. Lamaisa, Rabbi say, listen over here for a minute. Lamaisa, lahalacha. Before we go into this, the Rabbi part, lahalacha, it's mutter to be metaltal. Are you going to tell me Alat Sad, what the Magen Avram concludes that it's also to lein the Megillah l'chayr should be Muktzah? The whole Pri Chodesh is in question. The poskim have a very hard time with the Pri Chodesh.
Shabbos started.
Good, that's a Shabbos thing. Lamaisa, there's a few Maramakaimis that Lamaisa you say that even Muktzah l'chatzi Shabbos have a few Maramakaimis. So it would be Tako, it would be Muktzah. However, it would be Muktzah from afternoon, from plag. Lamaisa, I'm just going to say it quick and we can handle it afterwards. Lamaisa, the Pri Chodesh holds that you cannot lein the Megillah from plag. So Memela, you can't use the Pri Chodesh's Isser and also say that this Shabbos afternoon it's going to be Muktzah to din of the Pri Chodesh. The Pri Chodesh Alein holds that you can never read the Megillah after plag. So Ibrazoi, you can't use the Pri Chodesh and say it's Muktzah. So Memela Lahalacha, I said it Bakitza, but Lahalacha, it's clear that a person could be matautal the Megillah this Shabbos. As we said, even if you're being matautal the Megillah, you can't take it to shul because that goes into Hachana Shaila. Agav, and the Olam Taka brought it up. Tamoyre Gezach, the first chelik of the Magen Avram, that you should be able to lein the Megillah this Shabbos afternoon. It's a Chiddush Gadol. We mentioned before the Pri Megadim says, when the Pri Megadim says, it's Pasha, it's Asa. What's the Magen Avram going like this and like that? It's Asa. Mi'idach, so what's the Havamina that it's mutter? The Chassam Sofer over here in the Shulchan Aruch and Agoyis Baruch Tam, they go are miskasha the other way around. They say, why would it be Aser? Why does the Magen Avram conclude at Sad Isser? Why should it be Aser? Why? What are they asking that it should be mutter? I'll tell you what it's mavur in the Ran. The Ran asks a Shaila. Rabbi made a gzeira that it's Aser. You're not allowed to blow shofar on Shabbos. You're not allowed to take lulav on Shabbos. You can't read the Megillah on Shabbos. Gzeira Shema Yavirenu. You're going to go to the Rav to ask the Rav how a Tkiya goes, Nanuim, Megillah, Flek the Ran, and what's about Milah? In the introduction, Rabbi Antabi, you mentioned about Milah. So Flek the Ran, what's about Milah? What Milah's doicha Shabbos? You do a bris on Shabbos. Why wasn't Rabbi Goizer that you just don't do a bris on Shabbos? Gzeira Shem Yavirenu. As I flek the Ran, there are many terutzim. The answer that the Ran gives is like this: Rabbi was only Goizer something a gzeira that all of Klal Yisrael are doing the mitzvah. The Goyim is medayik the lashon Gemara. Hakol chayavim, dafka hakol chayavim. But if only a few people are chayiv, other people are going to remind. The says by Milah, these are few people, only limited people are doing a bris on Shabbos. So someone that's not doing a bris is going to stop the person. Hey, don't go out to ask Rav at Shabbos. So Megillah zok the Chassam Sofer, zok the Agoyis Baruch Tam. For these few people that are going to read the Megillah this Shabbos afternoon, it's only a few people. So the Megillah, it should be mutter.
What question is that? Everyone's mechuyev.
No.
Also, everyone.
What's about Hakol Chayavim doesn't mean if everyone's mechuyev to do Milah b'yom hashmini also. Hakol Chayavim means to say that everyone's going to be Makayim. So everybody's Torah the mitzvah shofar, so somebody's by mistaken to go out in Rosh Hashanah. No one's going to stop him because everybody's busy with the same thing. Milah, there are a few people that are busy with the mitzvahs Milah b'Shabbos. Other people are not busy. This Shabbos afternoon, how many people are busy with Kriyas HaMegillah? Only a few people.
By shofar, everyone's busy learning how to do shofar.
It's a mitzvah for everybody.
Megillah, everyone has to.
No, everybody's waiting till it tastes.
Yeah, but Milah, everyone has also the mitzvah. Lamaisa, they may not have the chiyuv lamaisa, but they do have to get.
Good. You're asking the Ran. Let's leave it on the side for now. We could be mafalpal more, but as I zok the Ran, that's the Ran. Megillah, zok the Chassam Sofer. This Megillah over here, it's only a few people that are leining b'diavad after plak. So Megillah, that's the reason it should be mutter. At kedekach, the Chassam Sofer, if I remember now correctly, the Chassam Sofer blives by a tzarachin, the l'chayr should be mutter. And the Agoyis Baruch Tam says, Lamaisa, you know why Lamaisa it's aser? Loi plug. Das heißt, when Rabbi asered, avanda they asered Megillah next year, Shabbos, Shushan Purim. But loi plug, you can't have that. This type of Megillah, it's very confusing. Can you imagine some people are leining Megillah this Shabbos afternoon? Loi plug, ein locha loi plug adam is there, loi plug, and that's why it's aser. But be'etzem would be mutter. One other answer, what's it sad that it should be mutter to lein the Megillah this Shabbos afternoon? Zok the Nitziv. The Nitziv asks a question. We know Rabba's Gzeira is where Shofar, Lulav, and Megillah. Frek the Nitziv, and what's about Matzah? If Pesach is Chalias b'Shabbos, don't you think, you have to go to the Rav to ask the Rav if it's a good matzah, if it's a kvelas, shilas and matzah. Why don't you say that Pesach Chalias b'Shabbos, we don't eat matzah, out the Gzeir, Shem Yavireda, Dal Ramas b'Shas Harabim. As I fragt in Tziv. Matzah, morer.
Because you can still eat it.
You have a shaila. You have a shaila if the matzah is chametz. Maybe you can't eat it. So you're going to go to a chacham, and adarabah, it's going to be very clear. Usually you could go. Your regular Pesach night, you bake the matzahs, and you go to the Rav to check with him. So you go Friday night. It's a Shemi Avirenu. Zokt in a tziv, it's not the derech to go out by night. It's not the derech to go out by night. Megillah, I guess it's not the derech to go out by night. People just don't go out. I these shaylas, ich weiß nicht, but people don't go out by night. So Megillah is no gzeir Shemi Avirenu. Zokt in a tziv, la'oyer this, Rabbi say. The kriya of Purim by night is a mitzvah shalayla. It's true taka that you're reading it by day, Shabbos afternoon, but it's a mitzvah shalayla. Because it's a mitzvah shalayla, loy gazru. Finished. Even though it's true, we're going to move this mitzvah shalayla to the afternoon, but they didn't make exerim. Like a hechatimtza, it's not negay, but let's say you could eat Erev Pesach Shachal, you move the matzah to the Shabbos afternoon, let's say it would be shayach, even though it's taka, what to be goyzer, loy gozru, because the ikra mitzvah is by night, I mean loy gozru. One more pointer, one more halacha, another moment or two, noigeya to this Shabbos, a hachana shayla, could a person say that he wants to take a nap Shabbos afternoon to be rested for Motzei Shabbos? Now, I want to make it clear, if you don't say anything, even if in the back of your mind, in the front of your mind, your intention is to be rested for Motzei Shabbos, that's not called achana. But could you say that I'm laying down now because I want to be rested for Leil Purim? You don't want to doze off by the Megillah, misnamnim, you're going to miss some words. Could you rest for Leil Purim? Achana shayla.
Yeah, because you could do it really at any time. You could do it. You could have done it at the beginning of night, right? As long as you're able to.
Could you say Shabbos afternoon? I'm taking a nap now. You know why I'm napping now? Because I want to be rested for Motzei Shabbos. Could you do that? What'd you say? Zokte Sefer Chasidim. Very good. This is already taka. This is Mama Shabbos connected to what we learned. Very good. Shin Zayin. But Zokte Sefer Chasidim. The Sefer Chasidim b'Shabbos lo yoymar adam. Somebody's a minion now. But lo yoymar adam nishan kadei shenasem alachtenu. A person shouldn't say that I want to rest now to be able to do malacha. We'll see in a second what it is. Why? The lashon of Sefer Chasidim she'asa loy belamacha eser. You're not allowed she'asa loyma that you're going to sleep for Motzei Shabbos. Now, you might tell me, wait a second, but I'm going to sleep now because I want to be rested to be Chaim, the mitzvah, the rabbanim of Kriyas HaMegillah. Or the same thing is these other cases as well. You want to go to sleep Erev Shavuos, Shechal Liyos b'Shabbos, so you should be rested to be able to stay up Shavuos night. You know what another good example is? Next year, Erev Pesach Shechal Liyos b'Shabbos. Not a shayla, you take a nap on Shabbos, Erev Pesach, so you should be rested for the Seder. It's called a mitzvah deiraisa, a God to Sipri Yitzias Mitzrayim. So could you, Lamaisa is like this, the Sefer Chasidim says that even a person wants to write a Sefer Torah, it's also aser. He wants to be rested to write a Sefer Torah Motzei Shabbos. Now, like you mentioned, this we learned at the beginning of Shin Zayin, and we just chazered it also. These are machloikas apoiskim, if nothing to do with resting. Could you say on Shabbos Kodesh, I want it tonight, Motzei Shabbos, I want 3 hours, I want to work on Ksiva Sefer Torah. It's machloikas apoiskim if you could do that. This is not a discussion about that. B'chlal, it's about saying that I'm napping now to be rested for Motzei Shabbos. Zoktach Sefer Chasidim, it's aser. So kum techais, if be'etzem we stop right here, it's aser. It's aser. We'll see Lamaisa, there's a shayla how to understand properly the Sefer Chasidim. There's not enough time, at all to go and properly how to learn up the words. What is the Isser? What is the Isser? So the Chai Adam says the Isser is the Isser Achana. But Yoymar Ishim b'Shabbos, that should be up Motzei Shabbos, so the Chai Adam, the Havik Meichen L'choil, and Meil it's Aser. So kum techos, it would be aser to say. You could take a nap, no problem, but to say that you're going to sleep for Motzei Shabbos, it's aser. And as I brought in the Briska Agada, they bring that it's aser to say that you're going to sleep Erev Shabbos Shechal Yisrael Pesach to be rested for the Seder. It's aser.
So the parents can't tell the kids to take a nap. To be rested for...
Say take a nap.
They can't.
Lamaisa, let's see these tzad heter, so taka for the kids, you're just going to tell them take a nap. If they chap, they chap. But if you need to tell them straight out why you need it, let's get to it in a minute. And with that, I'm going to conclude. Another tzad iser is even without the din achana. There's another tzad iser. Zok the El Yerabba. The El Yerabba learns up shat in the Sefer Chassidim, and he says like this: it's not about achana. It's zilzal Shabbos. Could be achana is also zilzal Shabbos, but it's zilzal Shabbos because you're supposed to rest on Shabbos for Shabbos. Shina b'Shabbos tainig. So if you're going to sleep already, you want to learn. But if you're going to sleep, Zok El Yerabba, you should be going to sleep for Kavod Shabbos. Here you're saying, no, I'm not doing it for Shabbos, I'm doing it for something else. It's a zilzal Shabbos, not al tzachana. But al kaponim, these are two different reasons why it should be aser. And for both of the reasons, it would be aser to say, I'm going to sleep now, Shabbos afternoon, to be rested for Motzei Shabbos for the Megillah. However, there's a tzad heter in Tshuvas Be'er Moshe. The Debetziner Rav says, Hayois it's dvar mitzvah, it's mutter. And he brings his brother, the Betzel HaChachma, that was the Rav in Australia, says it's mutter legabi Erev Pesach Shechal Yisrael Shabbos. But he brings weiter that we had to learn up to Sefer Chassidim. So kum techos, that's the tzad heter. The Aruch HaShulchan says clearly, even for a dvar mitzvah, even to learn, you want to rest Shabbos afternoon so you can learn Motzei Shabbos, it's aser. So what comes out? If you don't say anything, it's mutter. To say when it's a dvar mitzvah is a machlokes. So just to go over the pointers of the Shiur in 30 seconds. This Shabbos, Erev Purim, it's mutter to prepare Leining of the Megillah, and it's not achana. This Shabbos, it's mutter to be metaltal the Megillah throughout the whole Shabbos, and it's not muksa. This Shabbos, you should not bring the Megillah to shul on Shabbos for Motzei Shabbos. It would be a problem of achana. And lastly, this Shabbos, better not to say that you're going to sleep for Motzei Shabbos. It could be going to a shaila of achana or a shaila of zilzal Shabbos.